Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Molinda Jae, and I am coming to you all because Twitter is about to have a new CEO. This has broke literally about a couple minutes ago. From the article that I have pulled up, it's been updated since 1:51 p.m. um EDT time. So let's go ahead and get into it because this is coming from the Washington Post. All right. So Elon Musk and took the checks away, got his little coin from what is it? Getting the blue check mark as a subscription, and he's gonna head out the Dodge. But the reason being because before I get into this article, I have an idea of the reason being because I did see a Facebook Live about a couple of days ago about Elon Musk having, Elon having a lithium. It's called the Texas Lithium Refinery that's going to be in Nueces County, aka Corpus Christi, like Robstown. And the governor just gave him the proclamation for him to go ahead, and they had like a groundbreaking ceremony happening there about a couple of days ago. So that's probably why he's stepping back from Twitter. It's because of this lithium refinery plant that's about to be built within the next year, and then of course operation is going to resume the year following that. So let's go ahead and get into the article now. All right, and this comes from the Washington Post, and this is in regards to Twitter having a new CEO. And of course, why Elon Musk picked Linda Yaccarino to lead Twitter as CEO. It does say Twitter has struggled to generate revenue since Musk took over CEO, and as advertisers have fretted over his sweeping rollbacks of content moderation as well. All right, and as you can see here, this is the new CEO right here, and this is a better image of her, facing forward instead of sideways. All right. I have to make sure my mic is on because, hold on. Oh gosh. Is the hold on? Hello. Okay, I have to make sure the mic is on because the last time I didn't have that, John. So I'm probably have to redo the beginning once I get done reading the article. But it reads, read along with me, y'all. San Francisco, Elon Musk's choice of Linda Yaccarino for Twitter CEO appears aimed at solving multiple problems facing the social media site, and the billionaire himself following his tumultuous takeover of the company in October. Musk's rapid change and unpredictable behavior at Twitter have many advertisers wary of doing business with the platform, which has revalued itself at less than half of October's bidding, which was $44 billion, as it struggles to generate elsewhere in his empire. As investors have urged him to return his attention to Tesla, the world's most valuable automaker, and the key to his massive fortune, Yaccarino, an advertising executive who served as NBC's Universal Chairman of Global Advertisement and Partnerships, brings vast experience generating revenue and partnerships with key brands, and will also need to balance the need to implement Musk's policies aimed at maximizing his vision of free speech. Musk has loosened many of the site's rules, let back of thousands of banned accounts, and has gotten himself into trouble on occasion with tweets, including one spreading misinformation about the attack on Representative Nancy Pelosi's husband, former Twitter employees, speaking on the condition of autonomy for fear of retribution, expressing skepticism that much would change under the leader picked by Musk. During her tenure, Yakaruni consolidated many of NBC Universal's individual marketing and sales team for Bravo TV, Peacock USA, Sci-Fi, and other NBCU operating units into one centralized marketing and sales structure for the company. She is well known among CEOs and marketing executives and can serve as a band-aid to some of Musk's fractured relationships in that area. A person close to her who spoke on the condition of the autonomy to discuss sensitive internal matters told the Washington Post NBC Universal announced her departure from the company Friday morning. It has been an absolute honor to be a part of Comcast NBC Universal and lead the most incredible team, Linda said in a statement. We've transformed our company and the entire industry. I am so proud of what we accomplished together. Musk and Twitter did not respond to requests to comment. Musk announced Linda was going to take the him in a tweet saying he was excited to welcome her. She will focus primarily on business operations while I focus on product design and technology, he said. Looking forward to working with Linda to transform this platform into X, the everything app. Whoa, time out. Flag on the plate. So Twitter is about to be rebranded into a whole nother name, or it's going to be a separate app. Let me know so I can know, because I love Twitter because I get to talk my ish on there and then leave it be. Compared to the other platforms, it's just like, Furthermore, into the article, it says Linda has worked closely with Twitter, which counts NBC Universal as its largest media partner, on trying to squeeze advertising dollars out of big sport moments such as the World Cup and the Olympics. Just last week, NBC Universal announced an expanded deal with Twitter for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, which includes a so-called Paris 25-day countdown featuring daily athlete or event clips leading into the opening ceremony in real-time highlights and an exclusive live Twitter show during the games. Could that be a conflict of interest that they were able to get that deal before any other networks? I don't know. Just is the timing of it all. You know what I'm saying? They were able to get, NBC was able to get that massive deal before she departed. And now she's going to be CEO of Twitter when it comes to the primary business operations. Interesting. Linda has praised Musk publicly at different moments, as she did after a recent appearance on the Bill Maher show. And she has told colleagues that people get hung up on his erratic tweets, but that she sees him as ready to establish business partners behind the scenes. In 2018, Donald Trump named her to the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition as aide council chair. Linda also partnered with Biden White House in 2021 to create the Rona vaccine campaign featuring Pope Francis. Linda has also worked at NBC Universal for nearly 12 years, with her team generating more than $100 billion in ad sales since 2011. Per her company bio, she previously served as NBC's chair for advertising and client partnerships, as president of cable entertainment and digital advertising sales. That is a long title, y'all. Shorten that thing up just a little bit. Before NBC, Linda worked for Ted Turner at Turner Broadcasting Systems, where she spent almost 20 years. She is a graduate of Pennsylvania State University. Linda got her start in the media industry as an intern at NBC Universal's media planning department, where she sold where she where she told Salesforce her love affair with media again. She spent nearly 2 decades in advertising, marketing, and acquisitions at Turner before moving back to NBC, where she worked for more than a decade. The timing of naming a new CEO is beneficial for Musk. Tesla holds its annual shareholder meeting on Tuesday in Austin. So on Tuesday, is it this upcoming Tuesday or this past Tuesday? I'm assuming it's this upcoming Tuesday, since this article came out today, not too long ago. But okay. Musk has hinted as recently as Thursday night the need to demonstrate his commitment to electric vehicle company. We believe Musk leaving CEO of Twitter earlier than originally thought by the end of the year as a positive development for Tesla, as well as SpaceX, with Musk needing to spend more time on these golden child platforms rather than Twitter. Dan Ives, analyst with Wedbush Securities, said in the analyst note. Ives praised Musk finally reading the room and trying to balance Twitter, Tesla, and SpaceX as CEOs, an impossible task that needed to change. There is a heavy lifting ahead for Twitter on the digital advertising front, as the platform now needs to get back advertisers while monetizing its user base. I wrote, since taking over Twitter, the company has shed around 80% of its prior staff of 7,500 and embarked on significant cost cutting that had at times affected the reliability of the site, which has faced repeated outages prompted by site changes. Meanwhile, Musk's team has restored thousands of previously banned accounts, brought back high-profile users such as former Donald Trump and Musk's favorite self-described Christian sacramental site, the Babylon Bee. Musk has also pushed a curated, algorithmically driven timeline in a description model that charges $8 a month for Twitter's signature blue badges, denoting the verification, redefining the model he decried as Lords and Peasant system. Check that. In other words, before Musk came along, you basically had to work towards getting the verified blue check. And then now that Musk has taken over, it's like, okay, you can get your blue check. You just got to pay $8 a month. And then boom, that's it. So furthermore, it says Musk's controversial moves have at times resulted in backlash. A coalition of civil rights and advocacy groups launched an advertiser boycott last year in response to Musk's mass layoffs. Twitter saw an explosion of hate speech in the immediate aftermath of Musk's takeover, and a Washington Post analyst later found its algorithmic changes were pushing extremist content into accounts for you pages. Free Press CEO Jessica Gonzalez, whose media advocacy group helped organize the boycott, argued that Musk's continued high-level involvement with the company's means Twitter's content moderation and business practices likely won't change, with Musk remaining in the executive chair and staying on as CTO, which is Chief Technology Officer is CTO. Okay, there we go. Y'all gotta excuse me. Okay, I'm not sure what it matters who the CEO is, because they won't actually have the power to provide an adequate check and balance on the chaos that Elon Musk had, she said. Gonzalez said the coalition of more than 60 civil rights and advocacy groups are still pressuring marketers to pause spending on social sites until we've seen some concrete assurance that it's going to be more committed to civil and human rights. Instead, what we've seen is them rolling back not just the rules that protect users, but the staff and the workforce that usually enforces those rules, she said. Beyond advertisers, Twitter and Musk have faced pressure from users and some who backed Musk's bid. After Twitter rolled out a policy limiting users' ability to promote outside social media websites, before reversing the decision, Musk launched an unscientific poll on whether he should step down. Where was that poll at? Of more than 17 million votes, 57.5% of respondents said Musk should give up the role. Musk agreed, saying that he would relinquish the job upon finding someone foolish enough to take the job. Well, you was the one foolish enough to take on Twitter. So who takes one to know one, right? It takes one to know one to be a fool to take over a job like this, to say the least. Now, let me see if I can pull an article on him being at this groundbreaking for this Texas lithium, the timing of it all. So this is another project that he is working on since he is stepping down as CEO of Twitter, okay, and he passed it on to Linda. And then also it was mentioned in the previous article, that his investors want him to focus on Tesla because it is making its rounds of being one of the top electric car company. And to say the least, once I seen this live on one of the local news stations in the Corpus Christi area, I was like, yeah, I believe since Governor Abbott provided him the proclamation for this lithium refinery to go ahead and resume an operation of being built and then start operations, I was like, yeah, it seems like Elon Musk is here to stay in Texas, because he has just been groundbreaking like everywhere in Texas, and there has been a lot more Tesla cars on the highways and byways, to say the least, on the Texas roads. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you all as well, because like I said, this is another reason. I'm gonna say, in my opinion, this is another reason why he is stepping down from Twitter, is because of this particular project here. Okay, so groundbreaking on Elon Musk's latest venture in Texas, which is a lithium refinery plant. Governor Abbott joined Tesla CEO at the event in Nueces County, which is Corpus Christi. The other surrounding areas is Robstown is where it's actually being built at. It's in the outskirts of Corpus Christi. But there's Corpus Christi, there's Robstown, Oldham, Refugio, Flower Bluff, and Aransas Pass, and then Portland, and Gregory. Yeah, it's all in one big area, okay? But to say the least, it's in the Robstown area. All right. So Governor Abbott joined the Tesla CEO in Nueces County. Local leaders are welcoming the project's jobs, but some coastal Bend residents are wary of the environmental impacts, because it is very agricultural down in that region as well. Okay, it's very ag based. So as you can see, there's an image here of Governor Abbott speaking, and then there's Elon Musk here, and then I'm pretty sure there's a couple of residents that lives in the nearby area where this place is being groundbroken at, and some local leaders. So it says Tesla CEO Elon Musk and Governor Abbott joined local officials in Nueces County on Monday to break ground on $375 million lithium refinery. Tesla says the facility will be the first of its kind in North America, and will package and ship battery-grade lithium hydroxide, an essential component for the car maker's fleet of products, because during the 2020 catastrophe, right, that was one of the main things that was not available to us, because it was always made in China, okay? And due to the exports and imports being on pause because of what was happening then, is what led him to do this act now. All right. So it says, also says, the facility is among the latest of his ventures in Texas, many of which have been the subject of both praise for the jobs and investing they bring and criticism for their environmental impacts. And then also, Corpus Christi is like, it has a beach side as well. So that's another thing as to take into hand on that. But Chase Rogers, who covers the local government and industry for the Corpus Christi Caller-Times, has been following the story and joined Texas Standard to share what he knows about the new facility. Listen to the story above or read the transcript below, and I'm just going to read the transcript for you all, okay? So just read along with me. That's what I like to do. Texas Standard, what can you tell us about the materials this facility will be producing and why it's such an essential product for Tesla? Chase Rogers responded, yes. So Musk is kind of mentioning, let me start over. So Elon kind of mentioned during this event, he sees the abundance of what he called battery-grade lithium as a fundamental choke point that could happen in the future. So this facility here is a way of them getting more control over the supply chain for their electric products. And while it's not going to completely replace or get rid of their reliances on other sources, he sees this as a way to get kind of shore that up. It's almost like a reserve type of deal. And that's what I'm reading. That's what I'm getting from it. So I wanted to make sure I understand how this is going to work. There's not going to be mining operations, I presume, in the area or where this lithium is coming from. They're in close proximity to the port of Corpus Christi. They're going to be imported concentrates of spodumene, which is a material where lithium kind of comes from. So it's going to arrive through the port of Corpus Christi by rail, go to its facility to be processed, and then it will be taken up to the kind of Austin area to be further processed, and then eventually going into batteries for their products. I'm gonna need y'all to reword that paragraph because I'm like it's got me talking like this, and with me I like to read slowly. But okay, so what I got from this particular paragraph here is the operations with this particular refinery is that the spodumene is going to come to the port of Corpus Christi, because Corpus Christi does have a port and it's one of the largest, and I don't know if it's in the state of Texas or I'm just gonna say it's one of the largest ports in the state of Texas, because Houston has I believe the largest one in the state of Texas. But it's going to come through the port of Corpus Christi, and then it's going to travel by rail, aka railroad, to be processed in the facility, and then it's going to be taken up to the Austin area for further processing, because that is where Tesla is producing their vehicles as well. All right, so also, let's continue on. I would imagine there will be some waste byproduct here. Has it been clear that they plan to do what they plan to do with that? Yes, so this event was kind of our first insight into that at Caller Times. We had made some inquiries to the company and we never heard anything back here. But Elon Musk briefly talked about the environmental aspect of this. And he said that there's going to be very little environmental impact in terms of environmental permitting, though they have permit with the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to do the construction, but at this point, it doesn't appear, at least at last check, that they are seeking any further permits for air emissions or like that. I'm thinking about reassurances on environment. I remember around one not too far from you, you're in Corpus, but down closer to Brownsville, when Elon Musk was setting up SpaceX, there were reassurances about limits on impacts of the environment. And we've now seen a lawsuit in the wake of the most recent big launch there. And of course, there are concerns about the Boring Company is doing closer to Bastrop. What are locals saying about this project? He said, so it's a mixture. So there are some folks that are very excited about new jobs and kind of, big name companies coming to this area, because when I left the area, Amazon was breaking ground there to, help out with distributing Amazon packages and all that stuff. So it definitely brings the jobs, to say, for the most part. This particular facility, it's in a very rural stretch of the county, in between two cities, Driscoll and Robstown. Those folks are super excited, but there's also some concern about environmental impacts. Some folks from Corpus Christi and kind of the greater Coastal Bend area have cited, what you cited there as a concern, and said, hey, we're getting assurances that there's going to be a negligible environmental impact, but there is actually, and there's been some complaints too, but the company, as they see it, hasn't been forthright with that exactly those impacts could be. Okay, so the company is going to be between Driscoll and Robstown. All right, so I may have to show y'all on the map, but Driscoll and then Robstown, and then there's Kingsville after Driscoll, and then Kingsville, Texas A&M Kingsville is on down the road from Driscoll. So I'll show y'all on the map where could it possibly be at. Any projects about this facility might transform the community. Yes, so according to the tax abatement paperwork that Tesla submitted to Robstown Independent School District, they're estimating that there's going to be 250 temporary jobs generated by construction, which is slated to go through the end of the year into next year. Then by 2024 be up running, and then in terms of permanent jobs, that paperwork says that they're going to be 162 permanent jobs for this role. There's going to be 10 folks that are paid $81,000, and then up to the average is going to be $52,000 a year. So that's a big reason why the local officials are pretty excited about this, because that's a good start. If you're fresh out of college and you want to get a job, $52,000 is fairly nice. I don't know how. It's fairly nice. It's a good start, to say the least. It's a good start. All right, but yes, that's what it says in this article. Like I said, this lithium refinery is already been groundbroken this past Monday, and it will be in between the Robstown and Driscoll. So let me go ahead and go to the map. I'm the map. I really hope. All right, so as you can see here, the red lines is the Corpus Christi area. Right here, the red lines. As I stated, Port Aransas, Ingleside, Gregory, Portland, and then Gregory and Portland, they're in their own little area, but definitely parts of Port Aransas in the Ingleside Bay, where there's a couple of chemical companies there. And then you have Corpus Christi, and then Over here, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. Robstown is here. And where this Richards Fairgrounds, I don't know if the strip mall is still there or not, where there used to be the H&M and stuff and Nike factory, but I don't know if it's still there or any stores at the moment. But yeah. So this is Robstown, and then over down here is Driscoll. Over down here is Driscoll. So he said it was between these two right here, Driscoll and Robstown. So to say the least, it's probably within this section over here, right in this area. Okay. And then there's Bishop and then Kingsville, where the Texas A&M King was at. So there is that. So what are y'all thoughts, y'all? How do y'all feel about Elon Musk stepping down from Twitter? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Or should he never sought out for the position or the company in the first place? Also, what do y'all think about him, his latest project with the lithium refinery? As my manufacturing process teacher would say, manufacturing jobs is the backbone of what this country was built on. And the fact that, I mean, he's bringing a manufacturing company, and it does keep the GDP going, so we won't have to be so reliable on other countries. We can be dependent, but not to the point where we have to be codependent with another company all the dang time. I feel like it just need to be an equal give and take type of deal, almost like you're being in a relationship with somebody, and not always having to rely on the exports to fulfill our basic needs, in which we should have the capabilities to do it ourselves. Okay, the key is to be self-reliant and then depend on others when it's needed. So at the end of the day, y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments section. I thought I would bring this attention to you all, since this news just broke not too long ago with Elon Musk stepping down from Twitter, and his investors are asking him, hey, you need to focus a little bit more on Tesla. And at the same time, he still has another venture in the background that has not been mentioned, not been talked about yet into the masses. It's only in the local area or in the in the statewide region. So yeah, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.